Well, good morning. I slept in a little bit, but I have this painting going, and it's the one that is that I'm lifting. When I say lift, is that I'm actually looking at it and transferring what I see in the design on the turtle fossil onto canvas. That's what I'm trying to do. So, you can say that I'm inventing this with my imagination, but I don't think my imagination is that wonderful. But in any case, let's move on. I have spoken about this lovely character, and this is actually what drove me to doing that exploration in the first place. I mean, initially, I would be hunting antique bottles, finding arrowheads, then all of a sudden realizing the animal forms representing different tool edges, etc. And then landing on this, lady who just seems to be flying with birds. And then, well, in any case, she's a little bit funny looking, in today's standards. I think she's beautiful. And in certain ways, when she tilts her head, she actually is, a sight, beautiful. So anyway, but she has this long nose, and a very and not the strongest chin. Here you see how diminutive she is. I mean, she's involved with that fluff we were talking about. There's element of like cotton, clouds, llama wool, the golden fleece, but it shows that her hair is fluffy like that, and it shows her little red braids. Then we talk about, if you look, you can start seeing, the owl here that we so often associate with the character Lilith. And he will eventually fly up and explore the canvas as we paint. But another thing I want to point out is that this particular character is often associated with the those three segments that may be related to the bee. But then also there's that part where all of a sudden the antlers that she's famous for having come up. She wears the antlers. And then you'll see that the antlers continue. And now the antlers were used for many things. You will find ice skates. Another thing that's very important, they used it to trim the edge of their boats. I think it was very resilient and kept the canvas that they used to hold as a as the hull. I've always described them sort of like it's the Boston whaler, where it has a external coating, whatever they used, and then it's stuffed with fluff. But it's a famous boat. But in any case, I wanted to point out something, how I've been following her. Now, there is a standard to this work, and it's a human hand, but I wanted to show you this. This is one of my stones, found here in Maine. Absolutely beautiful. Now look at her face. Look at it here. How did I do that? I mean, it's not perfect. It's not intentional. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, this is from Maine, the state of Maine. And this is on a turtle fossil. Another thing I'm pointing out is I do believe these people were grinding down crystal or glass into making lenses. You can see that this is the telescope for, looking far distances, but when you see the one eye, that point of one eye, it's telling you when you get up close and you're using the magnifier to go to a single eye rather than the binocular, because that way, you know, when you're getting up close, you don't need the distance anymore. So I just thought that was beautiful. We'll see what happens this way. Another thing I wanted to revisit was the seasons. I mean, it's definitely cold over here. We got spring with the sun. We got the summer with the seeds. But here, the Raptor Maiden starts getting sleepy. She's tired. At first I thought she was maybe sad, and maybe she is. But it's more, I can see her yawn. All of a sudden, you know, where you see this, you know, she's holding her hand up to her mouth and giving a good yawn. Is she curling up to hibernate? Is she hibernating with a cozy bear? Are they friends? It looks well snuggly. So I'm on a roll this morning. Sometimes I worry, or I used to, that I'm going too fast, that I'm going to confuse people, that you know, it is overwhelming, the amount of information. The dissonance rings loud in their ears. But then I remind myself, that's why I'm making these recordings. People can slow down. You don't have to keep up with me. There is a, Paul Cleade said a quote, and I'm paraphrasing, I believe, maybe I'm not, that the job of the painter was to paint things before people saw them. Now, I think that people put this here in the first place, but I think that's the state of mind that the artists of his time were doing. They were actually all partaking in this race of studying the design and lifting images from it. That's all they're doing. Picasso, Klee, all of them. Well, I believe that, you know, it is not something that was, you know, to him it was already there, like always there. I'm not sure if it was the divine, because he didn't truly discuss it the same way I am. But I do believe he was seeing the same thing I am seeing here. So we spoke about the seasons, and so I'm taking you a little bit back to this area here that's very cold. And I believe right here we're seeing a little bit of a hand. You see the fingers there and a thumb coming together. And then here you're going to see a long blade. It doesn't seem to be the sharpest thing. I mean, it could be used for cutting honeycomb if you were collecting honey. But here she is using it to create the igloo shape. She's showing you to cut in the shape, to start, and how to put it together. In this design, it gives credit to the creators. So I do believe that here, maybe she made her knife out of antler bone. Maybe, yeah, I'll take that. So she's making antler bone knives that are good for cutting ice and honeycomb and creating this. And then you can see the igloo melt as it turns into water. Now, if you have a trained flying raptor or bird of your choice, you can take wing as your igloo melts. If you are a sailor, you set sail. You can see the sailboats getting ready to sail away. Oh boy, that's a big bird right there, huh? The big birds are always cool. The biggest birds. Somehow, oh, that biggest bird all of a sudden is getting cozy with this chick again. Oh, she had a little pet owl, but then there was the true big bird. There is also, I want to point out, the sadness here. I do pick up sorrow. Maybe somebody froze to death. I think I'm picking up some of that element where we can talk about a deeper freeze than usual causing destruction. You can look around yourselves. We'll see. We'll do it together. This is so much fun. I hope you're enjoying this. And I'm sorry I'm going so fast, but in the end, there's only so much time, at least for me. Life is limited in many ways, but I'm loving it all. Thank you so much.